There's so little of us. The steel box sank with heavy clanking sounds deeper and deeper into the ground. I like how Taka's waiting like right in front of the door. Very fitting. As we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. Is there really only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? Yeah, wow, there really is only 11 of us. Holy shit. That seems really little compared to everyone else. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation, until finally, it came to a sudden stop. What do you think? I redecorated. Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting? Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with.
Very nice.
Good, good. You're rip-raring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all.
Well?
Okay, let's get on the show on the road.
Thrills,
Everyone,
chills,
please.
kills.
Please find your assigned seats. All right, class trial time. And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith. A deadly class trial. Yes, I want to save. God, I forgot I should be saving this whole time. Whoops. Set skills. Increases the time limit for each phase. Effective during the class trial. Oh man, I'm fine with that. Increases damage to opponent when a statement is destroyed. Effective during the bullet time battle. Yeah. Vocabulary. Increases bullet capacity. Sure, why not? I don't have anything else to do. I may as well. Alright, finish preparations. Let's go. Class trial. Oh god.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
The murder weapon! He's so happy. First, we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. Make your argument. Alright, I know how to do this time. Locker room dumbbell. She's so short.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
Yup.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
That! Wait, was I wrong?
Shoot!
Oh shit.
Chihiro's fatal
Damn, that was
injury.
I did it wrong immediately. What the
It
fuck?
appears it was a head wound.
Never mind.
According to the Monokuma file,
I thought that
the
was
killer
it.
used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Nope. Ah shit, I missed.
That
No.
certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
God damn it. I'm not doing good this time. It's donut day.
Chihiro's
I love a
fatal
donut.
injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used what kind of blunt?
I bet it was an iron
No.
pipe.
Interesting.
Shoot it now.
That certainly would make
God
for
damn
a
it.
powerful weapon.
Alright, let's try this again.
Chihiro's, it appears it was...
According to the Monokuma file, what kind
Okay.
of blunt instrument?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Interesting.
What the?
That certainly would.
Oh,
make
I
for a
can slow it down. I think so. I can do it with space, can I?
Chihiro's fatal
Yeah.
injury.
That's what it is.
It
Okay.
appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma
Okay.
file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
No, you're point.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong. Break. I'm not very good at this.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, There's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
Right.
You looked at her head wound?
Yay! That's so
How is that creepy? We're trying to figure out who did it.
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit.
I love Byakuya's voice, dude. It's really good.
Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
It's Toko. Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? A new element has been added to now. Oh shit, what? For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions, but truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. But there's a way to keep the white noise from getting in your way. Press the right mouse button to attach the silencer, which you can shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease. Okay. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. In which case, you can forget about the silencer and just focus on the situation in front of you. Well, I'm not on gentle. Genocide Jack. Okay,
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible.
That's right.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it.
Right there. Yeah, we didn't get the white noise. Nice. Slowing it down seems to help the white noise.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
Look at Hifumi's face.
What?
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth, so let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file,
thank you.
There appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
No.
I fucking
It's actually
hate
bloodlust.
God.
But more
Boob
important
lust.
is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
Boob lust. The other characteristic of every Genocide Jack case, which the world at large doesn't know, if not mistaken, has to do with the positioning of the body. How the victim is positioned. I got it!
Apparently,
It's boob lust.
in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However,
I love
Chihiro was
Makoto's
most
voice.
definitely suspended
It's
in
so
the same
like
way.
anime protagonist, but it's really good. It fits it because he is the protagonist.
How did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
That's what he said, boob lust. Hifumi said boob lust, so I repeated boob lust.
No
Boob
fucking
lust.
way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
Oh.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
I read that as you, Lily.
What?
Maybe it's Byakuya.
Hey. Okay.
Me too.
Wait,
Me too,
hold on a
please.
sec.
Boob lust describes me.
Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember?
Bloodophobia.
What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
The riddle is for sure, but I feel like I understand it. what it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko but also to not be Toko. The answer is that she's not just one person, but multiple people, right? Oh, great. Oh, the Hangman's Gambit. I forget how to do this. Oh, yeah, this. What? S. Yeah. What? 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 I don't know. C. What? Really? C. Oh, shit. P. God damn it. What is it? Oh, schizo?
Now I understand.
Schizo? It's DID, not
Is it because
schizophrenia.
Genocide Jack has a split personality?
If I remember, I don't think DID is the same as schizophrenia.
I
but
think I
it might
read
be
that
connected, I'm not
somewhere
sure.
in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Dissociative? What a weird way to say dissociative.
Oh, okay.
Dissociative.
But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable.
Perfectly acceptable.
Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
The one thing that shows Toko could have been her behavior changed.
I got it!
I don't have much
You're
time
talking
left.
about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
I hate that fucking face, dude. I hate her,
She was acting
her
funny,
face.
that's
It's
for
so
sure.
bad.
That melancholy
It-
tone
it
of
looks
hers
like an
completely
Ahegao face.
disappeared.
Like, I'm not gonna say, I didn't want to say it, but it looks like it, and I hate it. She was acting funny, that's for sure.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
Oh.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
She is Genocide Jack. I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I'll drive out the killer, drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in.
Look at Celeste like, oh?
It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How? Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night,
Oh, shit.
just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She
Oh,
said
that must have been
a
her
murderous
secret.
fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time.
That must have been her secret.
And that
that they gave
trepidation
out.
is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
Oh, shit.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale.
Oh, shit. Byakuya's going off. I feel like there's a twist somewhere in this, though.
Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone.
Holy shit.
But in spite of that promise,
I'm sorry, I couldn't keep our promise. Don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
You said if I kept my promise,
Oh shit.
go out with me. That's the only reason I
Oh, fuck.
promised.
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it.
But your efforts were useless.
This is insane.
What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person you don't mean.
Oh fuck. Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second... Don't tell me she's gonna have the face again. Ah!
Oh, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
Genocide Jill? Okay, that's a little better. The face isn't as bad.
Heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack!
Yeah.
Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
Holy shit.
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
God damn. I like that face.
She's so intense.
Yeah.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
You said it. You said it, Sakura.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy
I mean, why
soul
did
lives another
she
that shines as bright as
reveal
the
herself?
sun.
She, you know, now she's gonna die. This is the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack. This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Aw, she's kinda cute. Look at her. I like the tongue.
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds. Just kidding.
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid! And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours,
Oh, shit.
an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed.
That must be her secret.
Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
What?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could
I know-
murder someone in
I know
such
what
a
happened.
bizarre fashion.
Byakuya must have done it because he knew he's trying to frame Genocide Jack.
Nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Holy shit.
Yeah. I could never believe a
Byakuya
word
must
you
have
say, you monster.
must have framed her. Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. When she said, I need to get out more details. What she said, I need to get out more details about all this. Oh, it was probably Byakuya. Status of the dead body?
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
Okay, I want to just watch the whole thing. Okay.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
It's gotta be what Byakuya said.
You say that, but do you really expect
Perhaps if you had an...
Oh, an alibi!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
Boom.
No, that's wrong.
Oh, I know this music is about.
Are the methods of murder really exactly the same?
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about that.
Genocide Jack stabbed.
I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide
I think
Jack
Byakuya
cases
did it.
and this one.
Huh? How is it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you!
Holy shit.
I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee.
Chef
This
Boyardee.
is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
There's one clear difference to the murders. The victim's fatal injury.
I got it! For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
Are you saying the other difference?
Yeah, in the
has to do with
Genocide
how
Jack
the body
ones,
was
they were
arranged?
stabbed to the wall, but Chihiro's was tied up with the extension cord. What was used to
I
suspend her?
got it! Do you
I know,
remember
right?
what the killer used
I want
to
some
suspend
Italian
her?
food now.
They used some kind of rope to hang her up.
It was
by
an
her
extension
wrists.
cord.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else?
And
Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
how long am I shooting for? 3.5 hours.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big
not too
Mac.
long.
There's actually one more difference.
I do like one chapter. I want to do like one chapter per stream. So however long that takes. I mean, we're definitely almost done with chapter 2. I know. I want a Big Mac now. Why is she making me so hungry?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were.
Oh, they were all
in each
boys.
Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
They were
Figure
all
that
boys.
out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
The names of everything. What this is? I think I figured it out. Chihiro was her lover.
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo, bullseye, right on the money.
I love her face.
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
They were all boys.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men!
Oh, that's why she was so attracted to
I
Byakuya.
can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl!
Oh
and
my
the
God.
movie side of me just hates it! But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable
What
little
the
man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making
Oh my God,
ramen
stop
just because
talking
they're
about
both
food. I'm
noodles?
just so hungry.
Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there
Holy
is
shit.
to it. It's a different matter entirely. When you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Is it Byakuya?
Lowly? Cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival.
I know. I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten since like 9 o'clock, like 10 o'clock this morning.
If by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect.
That does make some amount of sense.
It does. What's gonna happen to her?
Whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors.
If she's like, if she's not the killer, are they just gonna like,
Go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy
like
dumbbell.
let her stay here? You know what I mean?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school.
But they have the sewing kit.
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors.
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
In the sewing kits.
Da-da-da-da!
Oh shit. Holy shit.
She's fully equipped.
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime. Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you.
Holy shit. Where did she get them
Not to
from?
mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could
It
such a
isn't
heinous
you,
villain
right? That
really
was a
be
total
innocent?
JoJo pose.
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the
I'm
police
sorry I'm
knew
not
about
talking
that.
very much during this part, by the way. I don't want to interrupt him. I want everything to be voiced out, you know?
That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some
I have no
copycat
clue.
killer or whatever.
There's one person. One person could have copied the Genocide Jack bases. Byakuya! It was Junko. No. Why can't I choose Monokuma? Alright, I'm
Here's my answer.
stupid.
Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem
I knew I
gaining
shouldn't have
access to
trusted Byakuya.
classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
No
Then
shit,
the
he's
reason
quiet.
he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to
shit.
disguise it and make it look like I put
Byakuya's
this
finally
adorable
going down.
glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me.
Don't try to keep your cool.
Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
And the locker rooms. They're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed, wouldn't you agree? Huh? Suspicious? Seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy,
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd
Yeah, that
say.
is kind of a good point.
on the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest
Oh,
of
it's
the
the
class.
extension cord. Wait, what? Next, we're going to add something called the Truth Flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the left mouse button, then you'll memorize the weak spot. This memorized phase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it'll disappear from the truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. You don't have to have the answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets. It might be wise to memorize a different weak spot that I'll use to make your case. When's the best time for a flashback? Well, you have to use your keen wits, won't you? God damn it. In this case, though, I will say if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then, good luck and have fun. Wait, how do I do the flashback? If you hold down the left mouse button. I'm confused.
So, you said Byakuya was...
Hold on. When a character is talking, some text may appear in yellow. This is their weak spot and it represents a potential lie. Oh, okay. Truth bullet flashback. When you target a weak spot and then hold down the left mouse button, you can use that weak spot as a temporary truth bullet later in the argument. Those flashback bullets will disappear. Let's try.
But he was acting weird. How?
If you're presented
But this
with
is
the
wrong.
opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
Well, I'm gonna just shoot this.
You absolutely take it. That's a natural reaction for any guy.
I hate
The
you.
victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we
take
check
that.
the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
Okay, so maybe I just use... Oh, but he didn't know that... Oh, yeah, he didn't know that Chihiro was the killer, or the dead.
But he was acting weird.
If you're presented with the opportunity,
That's a natural reaction.
The victim
Yeah.
was Chihiro.
Before we found the body, he didn't know.
That's wrong.
That's right. He didn't know it was Chihiro.
I'll tell you what's so strange about that.
I'll tell you what's so strange.
Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
Makoto.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed.
No, it's not.
But your reasoning is still too weak.
Bitch.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What is with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I cut him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do
What's
with
the
him.
matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
The extension cord.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
The difference in this case of the Genocide Jack murders. It's the extension cord, right? Yeah.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again?
Please explain it.
When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right. It absolutely was.
No, it wasn't.
then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in
The
my
extension
life.
cord, no!
Obviously, somebody else
God damn
must
it.
have had it hidden away somewhere.
My dog was barking. Alright, I gotta get the... Oops! I didn't mean to do that.
But Chihiro, it was some kind of...
That's right. Then there must be something.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you...
I'd never seen that rope
Alright, get out of here.
in my life.
Go away.
No, that's wrong.
I've never seen that rope before in my life.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Oh shit!
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder.
Oh.
And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
Then Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
Oh, you're
That's
silent.
really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room.
Oh,
then
we gotta
hung
talk
her
about
up and
that.
wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
Yes.
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
I like Genocide Jack, or Genocide Jill. I like her personality.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still,
It's the
there's something that's still
thing.
bothering.
Is that right?
I
And
skipped
what,
ahead,
pray
sorry.
tell, is
the
still bothering you?
the e-handbook.
I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait, what was that just now? Something's not right. Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room. What does that mean? Can I really accept what Byakuya said as the truth? No, I don't think so. There's definitely something else. Seen the crime?
I got it!
Yeah.
You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it
In the boys'
possible
locker
that the
room.
murder took place
Also,
somewhere
sorry
else?
about my dog if you can hear her. She's being a
How
butt.
disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointment,
Shut
this
up,
is a
dude.
true letdown.
I hate him so
She
much.
was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Just some stuff going on. Anyway, let's go.
Well,
Game's lagging.
I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then
that's
carried
the
there
locker
later,
room.
along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Did I just take you off guard? Was the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who was so confident up until now? Maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else,
stain.
let's see the proof.
Evidence shows that the murder took place somewhere else. There's something that switched between the boys and girls' locker rooms. Stain. The carpet. Oh, no. The locker room posters.
I got it!
I was gonna do the stain.
The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the
have
girls'
to go in
locker
a
room
second.
was a picture of a big boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange?
Not forever, but I'm gonna have to be right back in a minute.
Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
Oh, I'll be right back. Sorry about that again. I'm back.
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado.
Tornado?
Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys'
Wow.
locker room.
Gender stereotyping?
So you're saying
kidding.
that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms.
The stain.
You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
I like your wink.
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not. The stain was scrubbed away. It was switched. Yeah.
I got it! Good. The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Definitely the stain.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible.
What?
Me too. I love Sakura's voice.
In other words,
Or you
in order
Celeste.
to completely swap the scene of the
I
crime,
like Celeste's voice too. I like all their voices.
the
They're all really
blood-stained
good.
poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this,
Yeah, I like
the
Sakura's
killer
voice. She
was
sounds
able
like
to
a
change
Dragon
the
Ball
entire
character.
room where the
Like
murder
she sounds
took
like she belongs in
place.
Dragon Ball Z with her looks and her face and her
I
voice. I
can
mean,
certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually,
Definitely, yeah.
an
Maybe
even
just get
bigger
this over with.
question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
Because she's shy.
To get into the locker rooms, you have
Oh,
to
'cause
swipe your
she took
e-handbook
Leon's.
of a Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
It was Leon's.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how
Shut
she could have
up.
done it.
Yes, it's the locker. It's Leon's thing. Leon's e-handbook. Mm-hmm.
Is it really possible?
Is it really?
Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Yes.
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook!
Nope. Oh shit.
Shoot!
Dang it. Wrong one.
Is it really possible?
Oh yeah.
Could Chihiro really...
She must have hacked her. She was the ultimate programmer, after all.
Nope.
I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it.
Yeah.
She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of
Yeah.
course.
That's it.
No, that's wrong. No,
it's-
I don't think Chihiro used Leon's
Determining the
handbook.
killer.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
It was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
No.
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
So, yeah, so you can't give someone your handbook, but you can take someone else's handbook.
Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any
Maybe
sense
he broke
anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook,
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
Shut up, Hifumi.
It seems like there's no way she
I
could have
hate him
got
so
into the
much.
boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Wait, what? Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room. Byakuya is the one who did it? Really? Still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What
Yeah,
the-
wait, this is weird.
You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So,
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one
I'm
other way
confused.
she could have gained access.
what?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Yeah, what other? I'm confused myself.
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial?
What?
I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
Wow.
For real?
A recess?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Very
Oh,
unhappy.
I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So,
Oops.